What are you doing on your phone? Why do you keep shaking it?
It loads a random comic
What?
in CLZ.
Why does that exist? Why would you want to load a random comic?
I don't know, because life is miserable and sometimes we need a little wonder in it.
But why
piece of shit?
Why are you doing
Let's
it?
just fucking record.
Welcome, residents, to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and across from me is the Doctor himself.
Hello.
Each week, we talk about the weird and wonderful world of DC while fielding questions from listeners like you.
That's right, baby.
Scrumpadooches.
Whoa. It's Fanagar. Whoa.
Is it still? Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's all month.
Oh, yeah, June.
My God. We've only been doing this.
I'm exhausted. Guess what time it is?
What time is it?
Yeah.
Mr. Wolf.
Oh. Ow. It's time for news, baby. We didn't forget that we do it. It just hasn't been a lot of news.
I really hope it's not just us following the Ezra Miller crime spree.
I mean, that's in there. But let's start with something funner. Like,
Sure.
DC's Shazam movies get their own tie-in graphic novel.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a thing that you want more of in general.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and they're also doing there's these tie-in comics for Black Adam leading up to the movie, sort of character spotlight ones,
Totally.
and yeah, so there's a tie-in thing for the new Shazam movie as well, because that's early next year.
I think so.
No, it's still this year.
Oh, is it? Like just this holiday, or?
Yes. It is the only one that moved earlier when all those dates got reshuffled.
Right. Yes, I remember
yes,
that.
it is this
because
year.
you were like, it's probably going to be affecting the because of Black Adam and stuff. I think you were trying to hypothesize.
Well, yeah, I was trying to guess about the order that they were putting things, and yeah, but because yeah. So tie-in comics. So if you like Shazam and you want even more than what you got in the first movie and what you're about to get in the second movie, then there's going to be this little tie-in piece. Which
I
is
love
fun.
that. I'm so happy with that.
Not to mention that finally the main continuity new Champion of Shazam book finally got resolicited.
Oh,
I think for August or September or something like that. So, and that's the one where Mary Marvel takes over as the champion.
Oh,
from Billy. So that's pretty cool.
Scrumpadooches as hell.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Do you think if you just you got up from be like Scrumpadooches
wow. You're testing bits.
Maybe
we're in the stand-up mode right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's great, and I hope that comic shops start marketing the showings of those movies. And
I mean, they won't. They'll stock the book. Comic shops have their own shit going on.
I know, but it would be smart to market it because
you hear that, Bruno? Richard has ideas for you. Richard's trying to tell you how to run your business.
I'm trying to tell everyone how to run businesses. It has nothing to do with you specifically.
Yeah, whether or not they're yours.
Yeah, it's more of just, that's my job, all right?
Yeah, I don't know that the movies need comic book shops' help to sell. I think it's probably the other way around.
That's what I was referring
anything.
to. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, but then I'm even more lost.
No, I think that comic book shops can be like, hey, you liked that movie, kids?
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent.
I think that's the whole extent.
Yeah, except that, again, this comes back to my point. If they like the movie, they'll read the tie-in comic and they'll go, that was great. And they'll go, hey, do you want to read, the actual Captain Marvel stuff? And they'll go, no, I'm all right. And
no, you're jaded.
Okay,
I think
great.
they will. I think that the kids just need a way in.
I don't know. Kind of feel like Bruno's going to side with me on this.
I don't think that's true.
I'm not saying don't do it, because more is always better. And if you get people exposed to the idea of reading comics as a medium, I'm all for that shit. But I don't know that there's the instant translation piece there that you think there is.
I don't know. They're doing the thing I said that they should do, so somebody's listening.
They already do that. They've done that for years.
It's because of this podcast and me.
I don't know, man.
DC exists.
Kind of feel like this has all gone to your head.
Excuse me.
Hashtag last year of the podcast.
That's right, baby. All right. Ezra Miller reportedly not part of WB's future DC plans after 2023 movie.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is the ongoing months-long saga. They clearly need help. You know, there's all of those, like, you know, the random, like, harassment things, the, like, kind of assaults and whatnot.
Yeah.
The latest one, I don't even know if it's true or how true it is that they have kidnapped someone.
Jesus.
I saw a headline that said that they deleted their Instagram after posting "You'll never catch me, I'm in a different universe," and that sounded fake.
What?
But
what?
The point is, you know, there's all sorts of stuff unfolding, and they clearly need help of a pretty serious variety.
Yeah.
So that's on the one side.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, compassion or no compassion, Warner Brothers has to make the decisions. Like, we can't have that involvement anymore.
Yes. I mean, yes, smart move.
Certainly not before they receive help.
No.
So that's wise. But here's the, you know, if you're Warner Brothers, you finally have made this movie. It's taken you.
I know.
Like, this is the position they're in. And I'm not casting judgment one way or the other. I'm just kind of stating their situation.
Yeah.
It's taken them forever to get this movie made.
We've been talking about it since it started.
They finally have it made. Test audiences even liked it.
I know.
And
what happened?
And it was possibly the key to them exploring a slightly greater degree of connection between their movies moving forward. Forward. And a lot of they were going to introduce a Supergirl. You know, that what's her name, Sasha Calle.
Yeah.
As Supergirl, you know, Andy Muschietti's a great director. A lot of people worked very hard on it. They were going to bring Michael Keaton back as Batman, and we know that's implicated in other things. So from like the logistic standpoint, now they're sitting on like a 40 megaton warhead and like praying that no one sets it off. But like, really, it's one thing for them to say no more, you know, work with Ezra Miller. But it's like, what did we do with this? I think their hope probably is like that stuff blows over or is forgotten enough they can release it. But like, they can't reshoot it.
No.
Because they are in every scene of the movie. Yeah. There's actually multiple of them even in the trailer because it's a multiverse thing. So it's like, in my heart, they should just scrap it.
Really?
It can't be worth it, you know? Mm-hmm. It's one thing to say, well, we'll make some money, as opposed to not releasing it and we'll make no money. But it's also the PR hit. It's the, I don't know.
If it came out, would you watch it?
Oh, I shouldn't. I feel I shouldn't, in the way that like I shouldn't and haven't watched the new what do you call it, Fantastic Beasts, for different reasons, obviously, but like I that was not only just like, well, I'm not so into these movies. That was like, I can't see this.
Wow. And
I feel like this is kind of like that now too. Yeah, I don't know. To me, they should can it, but like, I get it from their perspective, which is like, we put a lot of money into this and it might possibly slightly, even if we ignore it moving forward, it's still doing the things that we were setting up.
100%.
It's a very insane situation for them to be in.
And they've been working
also
on
for
it.
A company that like historically finds themselves in insane situations by their doing or otherwise.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's a bad time to be a WB exec, I think.
Yeah. Don't worry, they come and go pretty quickly. Jesus. All right, moving on. Tim Drake Robin series just was announced.
Yeah, solicited for September. So,
how do you feel about Tim Drake as Robin? I thought you didn't really like him as Robin.
I like Tim Drake
as Robin.
Well, yeah, that's what he. I mean, I kind of liked him being Red Robin, but whatever.
I thought that's what was your perspective.
But it's not him as like Robin in that like sidekick to Batman way. It's just he just goes by Robin.
Oh,
He's
okay,
just,
okay.
But yeah, so Tim Drake has kind of been lost in the ether a little bit, kind of with nowhere to go and not many appearances and stuff for a while. So, Tim's getting his own series again. Tim held down the Robin book through the 90s. That's when he was Robin, right? So, so that's exciting. That's cool for people that are fans of Tim Drake. Yeah. It'll be neat to see him back in the spotlight again, especially because right before or just as drifting into obscurity, they were like, and by the way, he's also bi. And then they were like, bye. But, it's always kind of crappy when they go like, this character you're not going to see for a bit. That's our representation. So cool to give him actual spotlight because very much beloved character, totally operates well solo, has held down solo book before. You know
what's so interesting is that like with like culture getting more open about like sexual diversity and things like that, we just like naturally have to then like show them like engaging in activities or like being sexual, like in some capacity or not, whether that's romantic or otherwise.
Sure.
But it's just like, I think it plays into your hypothesis that we're in the horniest time.
I see where you're
I think it's like, because it's like, well, if you're going to like talk about someone's sexuality, then you probably need to like represent that in some sort of way.
Yes. But here's the thing. And this is a very common thing that comes up a lot. Is like when you watch a Disney movie and the princess kisses the prince, do you go, that's sexuality? Most people don't. They just go like, oh, she kissed the prince. Because that's like you're socialized to just be like, that's the way of things. It's only really, like, we only really perceive it because it's hasn't been shown in sort of equal measure. And so people, I'm not saying this is what you're saying, but I think there's an impulse for people to go like, they're cramming sexuality in here. It's like, no, actually, they're just showing people the way we've always just shown people, but you just don't like that we're showing these people.
I think for me,
Batman's always fucking kissing and stuff. We don't give a shit about that. You know what I mean?
But I think it's that what's great is that you're like just adding, you still have that, and now you're also adding in this other representation, and so it's just way more people kissing.
I mean, I agree, but I guess what I'm saying is, I think the representation thing and this is the horniest time thing are slightly different pieces.
But I think they play into, I think it's a component.
They are both a component of all of us being a lot more open about discussing sexuality and things like that, but they're slightly different.
I'm not saying
slightly
it's
different
one
branches of the same tree.
I'm not saying it's one and the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm saying, one, I'm saying nice. Two, I'm saying
nice.
Like, Two, I'm saying like sweet.
Sure. Yeah. At any rate, Tim Drake fans rejoice.
Hell yeah.
Because you're getting a book.
Well, prepare. This is a real fucking roller coaster of a news section.
Oh, Jesus. What's this going to be?
Get ready.
Oh, no. Is this because...
Joker 2
Ugh.
over Lady Gaga musical.
What a... There's a part of me that... I mean, obviously, everything about this is a train wreck.
You love Lady Gaga.
I love Lady Gaga.
But that's...
I even love Lady Gaga as an actor.
And
I love Joaquin Phoenix.
But that sentence...
But every step of that sentence is cursed. Lady Gaga joining Joker 2. The rumor is obviously as Harley Quinn.
Yes. I mean, some images have come out of her as Harley Quinn. I don't know if there's real.
No way. They're in pre-production.
Okay,
that's probably just people doing fan art shit to put with articles or whatever. And that the movie would be a musical.
I could see. Here's the thing.
The first Joker movie is a piece of shit, but Joaquin is amazing. But we should just leave it at that. But I made like $1 billion. They were never just going to leave it at that. But it's funny to me that it's like you make it a musical, so now all of the people that loved Joker fucking hate that idea.
Oh yeah, they're not going to like
the people that didn't want a Joker sequel.
Don't want that.
Equally don't want this. But now there's this weird like, are we all being pranked? Like, who is this for? I don't even hate the idea of taking the swing of no one's made a musical superhero movie or like a comic book movie.
But here's the thing.
And I kind of like the idea of someone doing it, but Todd Phillips is a piece of shit. And I think the first movie is entirely artistically bankrupt, so there's no way this one's not going to be, and that's not what I want. If someone's going to take a swing and make a musical superhero movie, I want it to be like legitimate and infused with enthusiasm and creativity, not like a cynical I know I can make this movie and make money kind of bullshit.
Sure, but what's funny is like I actually think it makes sense, but with the Margot Robbie Harley Quinn movie, like if that sequel was the musical,
this is just the thing.
That
There's a musical number in fucking Birds of Prey.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that would actually work really well.
It works. You can do it. There's a, and I 100% want it, but I don't want it from artistically bankrupt Todd Phillips.
No,
and like the army of.
But it's ironic that I think it is the right move with Harley Quinn. It's just not that movie.
I totally yes. You're right. Although we're almost invoking, like, yeah, bring Jared Leto back as Joker. Let's do this.
No.
The ghost of Morbius.
No, God. No.
But yeah,
You're in my world now.
Everything about it is a bad idea and insane, but morbidly curious. Morbidly curious. It's morbid time. Oh my God. It's me, Michael Morbius.
The fact that they don't say "You're in my world now" in that movie,
you're in my world now.
That feels like the movie you did that in. Yeah.
Totally.
All right,
they should make a Hackers movie.
Let's go back up.
Hacker Files.
Let's
movie.
go back up again.
I just said Hackers. They did make that movie.
Yes, they should make a Hackers movie.
Hacker
Remember
Files
the
movie.
Yeah. Ready to go back up on the roller coaster?
Smallville
stars Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum launch rewatch podcast Talkville.
Oh, that's cute.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. That's cute.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks for our another podcast we were going to start, but
yeah, that's another idea down the drain. No, that's fun. I mean, listen, literally everyone who's ever been on a TV show is doing a rewatch
after
of
The
their
Office
own show.
ladies. Every single other one was like, oh.
So it's like, yeah. And I mean, people already listen to Michael Rosenbaum as a podcaster.
He's good,
Tom Welling is on a lot.
Yes.
They're always talking about getting together and doing something that was like, do we do an animated sequel to Smallville? Do we do a comic book? They're always talking about shit. So at least in the interim, it's just one spot to hear them tell stories and talk about the show and have a fun time going back through it. So
love that.
Yeah, why not?
Sorry
to all of the Smallville podcasts out there that are about to get crushed.
But yeah, I get it.
We get it.
Yeah.
You hear me? Rob Benedict,
fucking rich.
Yeah, Richard Spate Jr.
Yeah. Is there any TV show that you wish that there was like the people from the show made a podcast about it?
Oh, I mean, Friends.
That's interesting.
But I'd want it. Yeah. I think Friends.
Ooh.
I don't know which ones I'd want to be the main hosts, though. Probably Lisa Kudrow.
And like Joey, right?
Yeah, I think it's Phoebe and Joey have to be the main hosts because I don't think I like the rest of them enough to have them in there all the time.
No.
But you cycle them through, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, if Matt LeBlanc and Lisa Kudrow did a Friends rewatch thing,
I do like that.
I'd be pretty into that.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, I mean, my initial thought is a show that I don't want people to talk too much about, but I actually like the idea. It's like I would love a Buffy one, but like,
oh sure,
it's just
right.
Joss Whedon. I don't want to give him.
Yeah, sure, I understand. Yeah,
maybe Merlin.
Sure,
I really love that show.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's like another one that really kind of jumped. I mean, Brooklyn Nine-Nine would be fun. But
I just think
that show only just ended. I'm
not ready for a review.
But Friends has been, you know.
Yeah. I think that's a good one. Or Parks and Rec, which I think they're doing though.
I think that is happening.
But
that's already
because it's what's his fucking name that's doing it. That I don't want to.
Who?
Rob Lowe. I think he's doing it.
Of course he is.
And so I don't want that.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. Time for to go the final down finish.
Ladies.
Hold on one moment. Time for the down finish.
Nice.
Nice.
Good Lord.
Legendary artist Tim Sale passes.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Not great. I don't love it.
Yeah.
He was the one that shouldn't have died.
And it was only like...
The wrong one died.
Well, I mean, that's classic life.
Wow, man.
I'm in a dark place, man. No, I mean, it was only like a few days earlier that there was sort of an announcement that he was taken to hospital.
It was like 3 days, like
serious,
between him going to the hospital and him dying.
But he was 66. Tim Sale, absolute,
so close.
Absolute legend. Obviously Superman for All Seasons, Long Halloween, Dark Victory, a bunch of Marvel stuff.
Yes,
just
entire color
an
series.
an absolute icon.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like you're one of your absolute faves.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, yeah, it's nuts. I have one thing that's signed by him, and that makes me happy.
That's awesome.
But I think that I think that he's one of the most like prolific writers or artists, but I think that definitely like not appreciated enough.
You don't think so?
Not really. Like I don't think he gets brought up in like, because I think they are such also like the duo. So when you talk about like the best books, it's like those names come up, right? But I don't feel like he ever gets pulled into like the best artists thing. And
interesting.
I think that he has such a great way of like bringing in emotion and in like thematics into his artwork. Like the fact that like both his Superman works perfectly and tonally is Superman.
Yeah.
But then his fucking Batman is also like both of those.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I mean, his Batman is like Shadow.
Yeah.
Right? But then he gets like just the big, soft, chunky Superman. It's not quite the same, but like I think Frank Quitely's Superman owes a lot to Tim Sale.
Yeah, he's the thick boy.
But and also like that like the very thin penciling and stuff. Like I see a lot of Tim Sale's Superman in the Frank Quitely stuff in All-Star. You know what I mean? Like they don't feel that far. Superman for All Seasons and All-Star tonally, like as stories, are miles apart.
Yeah.
But artistically, not as far apart as I might have thought.
That Superman illustration. It's such like a representative of like it's such an acknowledgement of when Superman was created and an acknowledgement of like what that type of like ideal like Superman would be, which is like it's like that.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, he's not like shredded.
No,
to shit. He's a big chunkin'.
Yeah,
fella.
like a strong man from back then.
Yes, exactly. Which is like the costume.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just so like emblematic of like the time that it was created and such a nod to its like its beginnings and like that the whole like Superman for All Seasons is a perfect book. It's so like perfectly representative of like the beginnings of Superman, which I think is that, like, 30s,
very
40s. Yeah,
very sad. It's always tough to lose.
This one hits hard.
Tough to lose an icon, and it feels like it's been a year of doing that.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Didn't intend to end on a down note, but ladies,
now I'm sad.
Well, why don't we give them the old Phantom Stranger?
Yeah. So this is your winner of the 2022 Fanagar Tournament of Pandering.
Yeah, baby.
The Phantom Stranger.
That's right.
Holy shit.
Son's guest.
I mean, at the start of the tournament, I never would have expected this one to win. As the tournament went on, it became very clear that this was like a very popular one, which was very cool for me. But at the start, I threw him in because I was like, I would like this.
Yes.
But it's I think it's cool that like people were going for it and interested in it because I think he's a really cool character. And he's been around for a long time. I did a bunch of...
You like read everything Phantom Stranger.
I went and read any comic that I own that he's in, which is like 100 and some odd.
Yeah, we tried to do the numbers the other day, and it's like 13 trades or something like that.
Oh yeah, roughly something like that. It was, no, it'd be more than that, but
it was a lot.
Yeah,
you did a lot of reading.
I did a lot of reading. Sometimes it's just a little cameo, and sometimes he was like really in it, And some of it is his own books, and some of it is other teams and stuff like that from kind of all eras, sort of mostly from kind of like late 60s onward. I don't have any of the real early stuff, but we got lots of questions too. Let's give him the old Phantom Stranger.
That's right, baby. We'll slide it right into Facebook.
Whoa, going to the face of the book, going to the Facebook.
First question comes from the most interesting resident.
Stephen Marion fucking Almagro.
Well, of course, who else would it be?
That's it.
Let's say HBO starts a live-action Phantom Stranger TV series or movie. Who is your fan cast for the character? And while you're at it, pitch a pilot episode or plot for the movie or TV show.
So, I mean, just off the top, I know you're more implicated in comics now, but do you know, like, Phantom Stranger? Even as a look. Let's not even delve too deep into the...
Yeah, I know the, like, very noir sort of vibe of him.
So, you know, the white hair, the white eyes, he's got the trench coat, he's got, like, the cloak,
Yes.
Yeah. Who would you... Let's just go just on kind of physical appearance. Who would you kind of cast as Phantom Stranger?
I mean, you know what's upsetting is, like, one of the first names that come to my mind is somebody that's canceled and we can't include.
Well, just throw it out there just for the thought exercise.
Armie Hammer?
Oh, interesting. Huh. I do like the idea of him being, like, imposing.
Yeah.
Like, tall. Slightly abnormally tall. Interesting. God, Phantom Stranger. I mean, it would be too distracting because this person is too big of a star. But if you think of it from the perspective of, like, someone kind of, like, countering their own brand a bit.
Yeah.
Like Liam Neeson.
Oh, like an older.
Just someone a bit older and, you know, who kind of like it's, but instead of him being the badass, I'm going to kick your ass. The Phantom Stranger famously can't directly intervene in things, can only guide other people. So he'd have to come and be like, you know, go over there. You know, I've come with a dire warning. We'll walk up and down the street at
night. I've got it.
Okay.
Zachary Quinto.
Ooh, I like that.
Right? Like, get a bit of that Spock sort of vibe, but, like...
Yeah, I like Zachary Quinto.
I think he plays mysterious well.
Totally. Yeah. That's a good call.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. The original, like, when he first appeared in the 50s, early 50s, I think, his very first adventures, the Phantom Stranger was a guy with no powers who would debunk paranormal things.
Really?
The first few ones were like, it's not really a ghost, look over here. And he would, like, debunk shit. And then it became that the stuff he was investigating was real and he had some magic powers. And then it morphed again to kind of where we are now, which is he is a magical being who is not allowed to directly intervene. He kind of has he can only be on the periphery sort of thing. So he can say, like, something really bad is coming. I have the power to stop it, but cannot. But I'm going to assist in the way that I'm able. I will help the Justice League, or I'll help this character, or I'll help whomever. Which is sort of interesting. And I bring all of that up because it kind of prohibits the idea of doing a TV show unless you jammed them in the Arrowverse or something like that, where a bunch of different heroes already exist. But his own show might be tough to hold.
I know how to do it
down long term. You'd need a Terrence 13, who's his sort of, like, you know, parapsychologist, paranormal expert, slight skeptic, you know, who works with him. But okay, pitch
TV show.
TV show, not movie.
No.
Okay.
You do it like a like a throughout time sort of series where it's like he's existed for forever. Like,
sure.
And you basically make it like each episode like solving a mystery thing, and basically the first season is like getting to like modern times, and so you like each one is sort of like you do the first season is like an anthology series where it's like stories of him getting up to like the modern times, and then the second season is like now how has he managed within modern times, and that's when he meets the like his sidekick.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
This isn't the way you build a TV show usually, but if you were doing an anthology thing anyway, I think it would be neat if they were real anthology things, and he almost felt like he was like third or fourth on the call sheet of his own show.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
You know, like if he came in the way Crowley comes in for episodes of Supernatural, where it's like, by the way, this is what's happening. You know, so you're just watching something else, and then it's like, oh, fuck, was that the Phantom Stranger back then? Like, you know, you see him in a scene, and you're like, was that him? And then he shows up later, and he's like, you must do this, or whatever.
You do it like Quantum Leap. That's what you do.
It's kind of like
where
that.
He shows up, and he sort of has to, like, help people figure out the problem without actually doing the thing.
Totally, but I mean, I think you should also put the focus of the show on the people each episode, they're the leads of that episode, but he's there.
I think you could totally do that.
Might be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Put you in the position of those people where it's like, who the fuck was that? I don't know. He was the Phantom Stranger.
Yes. I think you'd have to be in slightly more than that, but yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that approach really works.
Interesting. Well, there you go.
This is what I'm talking about, baby.
Oh, fuck.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Nice. I don't even know what podcast we did that on.
I don't either. I think it was Ghostfacers.
Yeah, who knows? Next question comes from
Chicken Maddie.
That's right, one and only Matthew Poulter. I barely know her. Who asks, we've all heard of the Stranger, but what sex move would be dubbed the Phantom Stranger?
Right, so the friendly stranger is the one where you sit on your own hand until it goes numb so that it feels like someone else is jerking you off. So the Phantom Stranger, I think, my pitch is you sit on your hand in order to do the friendly stranger, and then you get bored and forget, and it never happens. That's the Phantom Stranger.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Or if you're making it like the character, it means you can't directly touch your penis. You have to masturbate through something else.
Oh my God.
You can't directly intervene.
So here's my pitch for the Phantom Stranger.
Can't wait.
So you get a roommate.
I already hate this. I already hate where this is going.
Hold on.
I don't like this.
You don't even know.
I'm instantly uncomfortable.
So you get a roommate.
For the record.
But they can only live in the attic.
I don't know.
Hold on. And the one stipulation of them becoming the roommate is that and you have to give them permission that this is okay.
You give them permission.
Yeah, you have to give them permission. But
I don't know, man. This feels like a lot of steps.
In the dark of night, they have to just like appear and like jerk you off without you noticing and then run away. But they also have to wear a half-white mask.
So they're more like Phantom of the Opera? Yeah. Okay.
You'll hear like distant organs, and that's when you know you're about to get jerked off.
The idea of someone about to sign their lease, and they're like, hey, what's addendum C? And they kind of
the Phantom Stranger?
It's like, how is it like 17 more pages?
Like, don't worry about it. Just know you have to live in the attic. Occasionally you have to come down in the dark.
So sorry, you do want their consent, but you don't want them to read about the fine print.
No. I want them to read it. I want them to read it. They have to approve of it. They have to, and I have to approve of it. We have to be on an agreement that this is part of the
I
thing.
appreciate you throwing that in there, but everything else is so overwrought. Why not just ask your partner in the middle of the night?
And I don't know what weird shit
that.
you're into, but this is a fully consensual documented thing. So
yeah, okay.
Very normal.
Cool.
It's called sex. I don't know. Learn about it.
I can't. Not like this.
I'm not allowed to.
I'm not allowed to.
Yeah, my wife says I can't learn about sex. All right, let's leave Facebook and head on over to Twitter.
That's Twitter.
That's right. First question comes from Braydon, registered trademark, the Soapy Donkey. It's been too long. Who asks, is the Phantom Stranger still Judas Iscariot, or was that retconned with DC Rebirth?
So been quite a number of different origins for the Phantom Stranger, but this one specifically in the New 52, the Phantom Stranger was canonically made to be Judas, the betrayer of Christ.
Oh my god!
Also
he forced an old man to be with a young girl on Teen Titans.
That's just the
there was a contract, and it was.
God, fucking sweaty ass joke. Ugh.
Summer, baby, summer of sweaty ass jokes.
Yes, it's a sweaty joke summer.
Yeah, it's bad.
But in the New 52, he was made to be Judas.
Yeah.
So he betrays Christ for whatever it is, the 30 pieces of silver or something. Nice. And then he feels bad about it and he kills himself, but they're like, nuh-uh. And the celestial powers kind of condemn him. I say the celestial powers. That's what it is pre-New 52. Wow. You spilled a drink all over yourself.
I did. You can keep talking about it.
He's actually, he and the Question that we don't talk about and Pandora are summoned by the Council of Eternity. And they are condemned as the Trinity of Sin. And his punishment is to forever wander and not be, able to directly, intervene. But he does have to work off basically the 30 pieces of silver, essentially, is the idea. Those things bear his guilt and, his sin and all of that. And as he kind of weaves his way through the world and influences events in a sort of like non-direct way, maybe over time, he'll pay off that debt.
Sure.
And part of that happens in the New 52 is at one point he receives kind of direction from the presence, or God. And he doesn't know he's doing this, but he leads Detective Jim Corrigan to his death. And he's like, why would you make me... This guy just fucking died because of me. But then God's like, I work in mysterious ways. He's the Spectre now.
Sure.
So there's always this thing of like the Phantom Stranger in the New 52 has a lot of this drama of like, I am continually causing pain and suffering, even in the service of higher things. Yeah. And eventually he's like, fuck this noise. Like, I don't give a shit anymore. Like, I don't want to help you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he does kind of have a breaking point with that idea. But yeah, in the New 52, he's part of the Trinity of Sin, the three worst sinners of all time. And that's because they make him Judas Iscariot, the guy that betrayed Christ.
Is that going to be one of those things where you look back and Judas actually wasn't that bad of a guy? And
yeah, well, no.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Jesus sucked. That's my like incisive analysis of.
Man, you're so deep.
Yeah. Let no one tell you that the Dr. DC podcast doesn't tackle the hard issues.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe Jesus sucked.
Yeah. Today we're discussing what if Jesus was kind of a chode.
All right, next question comes from...
Oh, sorry, I didn't fully answer this question. Is he still Judas Iscariot?
Yes.
Great question. Obviously with the whole Omniverse thing and all the post-death metal stuff, let alone Rebirth, continuity has kind of been reassembling itself.
Yeah.
I think you are totally within your rights to believe he is a more esoteric, more unknown quantity the way he was before the New 52.
Sure.
But the way I have been approaching this is that until I am presented with the thing that is from like the previous continuity, or you know what I mean, where it's like, oh, the pre-Flashpoint thing is back. Oh, like Connor Hawke is back. Yeah. That character's back. Until I'm presented with that thing for Phantom Stranger, I'm assuming we're building on what happened in the New 52. That maybe we incorporate elements of the old one, but he is Judas.
Unless
still,
that otherwise, yeah.
And that's my approach for things like Batman, right? We have the Court of Owls. We're still building on all of that stuff that was New 52. But now we're just we're folding in like, oh yeah, and I also had, this adventure from pre-Flashpoint or whatever. So personally, I think until told otherwise, I'm still I'm not discounting the Judas origin as one, but Phantom Stranger famously has many origins. So for me, it's just one of them now. I wouldn't just throw it out like the New 52's done. Never mind that. I think it's just an additional origin of his now.
Well, let's continue with that question with the next one, which comes from Alex Jaffe. Alex Jaffe.
Great Twitter name.
Who asks, is it a mistake to give Phantom Stranger a definitive origin story?
Oh, it's tough.
I do like the Judas thing. That's cool.
Here's the thing. He has lots of origins. In Secret Origins, Volume 2, Number 10, he has 4 origins.
Oh my God, 4 origins.
The Secret Origins book of Phantom Stranger has 4 origins.
4 origins.
4 origins, sorry. So it's always been kind of non-committal. But they're not specific.
Yeah.
In one of them, it was also Christ adjacent, but instead of being Judas, he was this guy named Isaac. And I forget the exact circumstances, but basically it's the thing where they go to like 30 years earlier or whatever, they go to round up all the firstborn, right? It's the King Herod thing from the Bible. And his wife and child, I think, are killed in the scramble, right? And then years later, he realizes Jesus is the one kid they were trying to find. And he's so overtaken with rage that when Jesus is being punished, he's already been turned in by Judas. He pays off a centurion to like get in there and whip him a couple of times because he's like, I'm going to make this son of a bitch suffer.
Jesus.
And he gets, Jesus basically curses him to be the Phantom Stranger in that origin.
Love that. Love that for him.
Which is pretty crazy. In another one, he's the survivor. He's like the lone survivor of the end of the universe. And he ends up transported back to the moment of creation and then is reborn with kind of cosmic energies as the Phantom Stranger. So it's like a time loop. He has a bunch of origins. And they're all pretty specific, but because they all conflict with each other, you never know, right?
Yeah.
There's something I kind of like about that. But personally, and this might be sacrilege, I don't think Phantom Stranger having an ambiguous origin is as essential as it is for Joker. Like,
sure.
I
was just going to say my favorite Phantom Stranger origin is when he talks about his father was a bit of a drunk.
Yeah. You want to know how I got this cloak?
Yeah.
I get it in the sense that if he's truly meant to be a stranger, we shouldn't know. But to me, that's just maybe, he doesn't divulge it or the people he meets don't know it. I don't know if that means we don't get to know it. For Joker, I think it's important we don't know it.
Yes.
Obviously, he knows it, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not like it doesn't exist.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah, it's true. Maybe Joker doesn't know it anymore either. But I think it's important we don't because it's part of the...
It makes him scarier.
It's part of the thing a little bit for me. I don't know. That might be sacrilege to say, but the Judas thing in the New 52 didn't bother me. I can understand... If you were a big Phantom Stranger stan leading into that, for them to go like, no, this is the origin. That's a little bit jarring because they were very coy about it. Even other writers would go back later and be like, oh, that one origin in Secret Origins 10, like that's his origin. And then someone else would be like, actually, it's the other one. So it was like partly people picking the ones they like the best. But yeah, I don't hate it to know an actual where he comes from, especially the tying it to Christ, tying it to God is important because his power is
celestial,
divine. It's from the presence, and that is long established in some form or another. So that's important, but yeah, it doesn't bug me.
No. Well, how about this?
Okay.
Question from our favorite religious representative, Chris Chan, who asks, speaking of all this Jesus stuff.
Oh, shit.
But why is he white?
I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
Great question.
Yeah. Fair.
I mean, the answer is he first debuted in 1952.
And white people suck.
Well, and that, obviously.
Much like Jesus, white people suck.
Yeah, what if white people suck?
What if white people suck?
Nice. This is my TED Talk. What if white people suck?
Yeah. What if Jesus really sucked?
Yeah, why is he white? Theoretically, he shouldn't be. There are some I'm not gonna think of the actual issues, but like there are some artist teams and creative teams where maybe it's because of like the shading, or maybe it's because of the high contrast with his white hair and white eyes. Sometimes he does seem a little darker, but no, I mean, if you actually look at it, he's very clearly white.
Yeah.
But I do like the times where either deliberately or by accident they do color him slightly darker,
just to make the white whiter. Yeah.
Even just from a design perspective, I like that more. But yes, of course, especially if you're tying his origin down, he should be less white.
Yes, 1,000%.
If you're not tying his origin down, then it's like, oh, what a convenience that he's white. But you could kind of half get away with it.
Yeah.
But if you're pinning it to something specific, then yeah, you probably shouldn't be.
Totally. All right, next question comes from Chad Bogelman,
Bogle,
who asks, what do you think works so well about pairing Phantom Stranger and Deadman that keeps DC that DC keeps doing it?
Huh. Here's the thing. I don't know that I think of that as like a duo that really stands out to me.
Okay.
They definitely have teamed up and paired up through Justice League Dark. It happened in fucking Blackest Night and shit like that. They kind of had a sort of thing. They cross paths a lot. They're both magical characters. They're part of the cosmology and stuff like that. They cross paths a lot. So I think there's a lot of sort of, I think there's a line you could draw between them, which is, Deadman's thing is not just that he's a ghost and not just that he possesses people, but it's that he's an agent of karma, of like balance in that. And what is the Stranger's thing? It's always this sort of like cursed to, you know what I mean? He's paying something off. And whether it's the 30 silver pieces because he's Judas, or whether it's something else. In one case, in one of the origins, he was an angel that didn't pick a side when Lucifer rebelled. And they were like, oh, we noticed you didn't pick a side.
Oh, that's
Fuck
funny.
you. There is a sort of penance kind of thing. They do kind of represent a sort of like yin and yang of that equation that way. But also, both of them, in their own ways, can't directly influence things. Deadman is a ghost. He can't interact with things unless he possesses someone. Phantom Stranger cannot directly intervene in a crisis. He has to guide others to do it.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I think there are narrative connections you can make, symbolic connections you can make between those characters. But here's the thing. Phantom Stranger was sort of like the guide / narrator of the Shadow Pact. He's on the Quintessence. He was a member of the fucking Justice League in the 70s. The Phantom Stranger has a very long history in DC, and because of his thing of like, I can't intervene, he's in everyone's book. At some point, Phantom Stranger crosses paths with everyone. He shows up in Animal Man. He rescues Animal Man from like when he like reality breaks, like comes out of the comic, like that whole bit in the Morrison run. Mm-hmm. Phantom Stranger rescues him.
Oh wow.
Phantom Stranger is in everyone's book. So yeah, I mean, you're right. There are Deadman Phantom Stranger team ups, but do I feel like that relationship is more significant than Phantom Stranger and Swamp Thing, Phantom Stranger and the Spectre, Phantom Stranger and
sure
and I don't know that I do.
Sure.
But I do think it's fertile ground because they have some at least kind of topical similarities.
Totally.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, since we brought it up, why don't we talk about it? Next question comes from Dave Rossi, who asks, is there a reason he's the member of the Quintessence that shows up to deliver ominous warnings? Does he act on their behalf, or is he a wild card? Also, what is his power set?
Oh,
Thanks.
boy. The easy questions, Dave.
Yeah.
Let's start with the Quintessence. The Quintessence is a group of like hyper powerful, kind of, cosmically aware beings.
Oh, okay.
It includes the goddess Hera of like the Olympian. It includes High Father of New Genesis,
Jesus.
Ganthet of the Guardians of the Universe,
Wow.
the Phantom Stranger,
Spectre?
The Spectre is more of like an agent of theirs,
Sure.
but yeah. Shit, I'm forgetting another big one. I'm sorry, but maybe I'll look it up because it's gonna bother me. But they are like cosmically aware. This very like, we shall not intervene, but this is bad. Like kind of sort of
That's
thing that
very
they
funny.
do. Sorry, I'm just pulling it up here. Ganthet, Hera, High Father, Phantom Stranger, Spectre. Oh, the wizard.
Sure.
Here's a shot of the Quintessence there.
Sure, yeah.
They're extremely powerful. Why is the Phantom Stranger the one that seems to deliver the messages? Ganthet doesn't really do it. Hera doesn't really do it. High Father doesn't really do it.
Because it's his thing?
I think, that is literally what the Phantom Stranger can do.
Yes.
Is guide and
give messages.
inform and sort of lead others. So if you're going to pick someone out of anyone there, it's him, because he's not technically allowed to directly intervene in things. So it does kind of make sense for him to sort of be the one that's like, hey, the Quintessence sort of noticed something that maybe the Justice League should look into. But I think it's also, Hera is a goddess, an Olympian, and sort of famously aloof and distant. High Father is, on New Genesis. He's concerned with Darkseid and sort of a higher order of things, and maybe a little aloof and distant. The wizard Shazam guards the Rock of Eternity and is either canonically dead or just distant. The Phantom Stranger crosses paths with the mortal heroes all the time. So I do think he has probably more of a connection to more of them than anyone else. Yeah, Ganthet and Hal, Ganthet and the Lanterns like know each other, but like Phantom Stranger knows everyone, kind of. So he's just well connected.
Just a social butterfly.
You should see his LinkedIn.
Oh my god.
As for the question of what are his powers, yes,
That's not an answer.
So the Phantom Stranger basically canonically channels like divine power.
Okay.
In the way that the Spectre does. But the Spectre has a very limited scope. The Spectre can channel the power of divine vengeance, divine retribution. And that's it. Very limited.
Yeah.
The Phantom Stranger, while possibly not as powerful as the Spectre, has a broader kind of scope.
Sure.
He can wander, he can influence, he could teleport, he can move between universes, he can do like energy blasts and eldritch blasts and stuff like that. He can go back through time, he can travel through space, he can...
It's like an angel.
He could do just like the regular magic stuff, turn a thing into a thing.
Sure.
Like, he's borderline all powerful, but for the fact that
can't actually like influence.
He's not
anything.
really meant to and can't
Change the course of
directly change things.
Sure.
He has to do it through others. Now, that doesn't mean if someone attacks him, he can defend himself, he can fight and stuff, but it's different than like, oh, the Anti-Monitor's coming. The Phantom Stranger has the power of God. Should we send him after him? And he's like, I can't.
Yeah,
but I
sure.
can. You come over here. Maybe together we could. Hey, did anybody check that antimatter? Like he could do that
Sure.
kind of shit, right? He's like the guy leading the murder mystery party.
Oh, that's fun.
It's like I'm not really allowed to, but it's like, did anybody look in the cupboard?
Yeah, sure.
Like he could kind of do that shit.
That's so funny. That's so perfect. Holy shit. I love that.
That's sort of what he's up to.
All right, let's leave Twitter and head on over to Instagram.
Now we're going to Instagram, take some questions and answer them.
First question comes from the Multi Sanchez, who asks, what is Phantom Stranger's role in the DC multiverse? Is he like Marvel's Watcher, or who just watches, or is Phantom Stranger more of an active participant? Is he a Lord of Order?
All good questions. So the quintessence have almost Watcher vibes, but it's tricky because individually they are not Watchers at all. Highfather is like
doing shit constantly.
Doing shit.
Yeah.
The Olympians do shit. The Guardians do shit. The Wizard does shit. Like none of them leave it alone, but together they go, no.
Yeah, as a group we cannot.
It's like it's a little flimsy, I think, if you think about it too much, but it's sort of DC's way of being like, this is the very fabric of the cosmos at stake.
Yes.
It's like, holy shit, the quintessence told us it was a problem. That's more what it is than anything, which I guess in that way there's maybe a slight Watcher vibe to it. I mean, my Watcher knowledge is extremely limited, but there's maybe a slight vibe of that where it's like when the Watcher does get involved, you're like, oh shit.
But who watches the Watchers?
Yeah. Quis custodia, quinso custodia. I don't speak Latin. Well, that's who guards the Guardians, but that's the original quote. What is his role? Oh boy. I mean, his sort of charge is to influence but not be part of things. That's why he's the stranger.
But is he around for the benefit?
He is, and he himself at any juncture tries to push that, I think. The Phantom Stranger, for all of his elusiveness and being a sort of like he's been around forever and he's got all this cosmic power and he's omniscient.
Yeah.
He has he knows everything. He has the power of all knowledge and all these kind of things. For all of that, he is very much there's a very human core to him, which is the I can't just do nothing. Which is interesting. Because, other characters with that level of power kind of go not my circus, not my, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he has a very, especially more modern writings of him, he's a very, no, but, we got to do something. That's why I'm here. A lot of the people that he goes to maybe don't like him because he has to speak kind of in riddles or he's very kind of elusive and they don't fully know him or trust him,
Yeah.
I have a couple of issues of Justice League from the 70s where Batman's like, okay, stranger, but hang on now. There's some of that. But I think in general, he's pretty he'll push the boundary of how involved he can be, which is why sometimes even that line is kind of slightly dicey where it's wait, so you just fully used magic here, but how is that not? You know what I mean? It's tough for the creative teams to be where is the line there?
So he has
him?
to use magic, but from a corner, maybe
no, it's a joke from another podcast.
in behind a bush or something.
It's a joke from another podcast.
You just shut the door so you could do magic in the corner.
If you're coming in. In terms of his functional role in the cosmology, I don't know that I can define it, but he himself says in Day of Vengeance, when he and the Spectre fight each other, this is when the Spectre goes rogue. Phantom Stranger is one of the most powerful beings ever. They fight, and the Spectre's trying to kill him, and the Phantom Stranger says, I'm not sure that you could. I doubt the universe would allow it.
What would happen?
But this is just it. We don't know.
Has the presence ever gotten involved?
The Phantom Stranger has, quote, died before. He's been killed by the Spear of Destiny. He was killed for entering heaven because he's not supposed to do that. He's been killed a few times and he's always brought back, usually by the presence. But do we ever really have a solid understanding of his cosmological function? No. Because I'm not... other than he just does exist. and must. It's very vague, even by the standard of vague comic stuff. We know why the Spectre's there, even if we poke holes in the logic of it or whatever.
Sure.
We know why he's there. You know, I all the shit that I read and reread, other than him just having that sort of penitent kind of ongoing reason for existing, I still don't know why he's part of it.
Is he a Lord of Order?
No.
Interesting.
But he has worked in the service of the Lords of Order.
Sure.
He is not one himself. But that Day of Vengeance, the three most powerful magic users, the ones that the Spectre has to take off the table first, are Dr. Fate, so Naboo, he traps him in the helmet.
Ooh.
Madame Xanadu, whose eyes he burns out so that she can't read her tarot cards.
Oh my god! Because she saw the true vision of Castiel.
That's right. Yeah, Pamela Xanadu. And the Phantom Stranger, who he can't kill, so he traps him as a mouse.
Yeah,
he has to travel around with Detective Chimp as a mouse in his pocket.
Love that.
But yeah, I truly don't know cosmologically what function he serves or what would happen if he were actually removed. Because every time he dies, he comes back right away, or he's brought back right away. What would happen if the Spectre did kill him? What does he mean when he says the universe wouldn't allow it? Does he just mean God will just bring me back? Or does he mean something more cataclysmic happens?
Interesting.
No idea.
Ooh.
You know?
Sounds like a new Crisis event.
Phantom Crisis?
Holy shit.
I left the Crisis plugged in, and now there's Phantom Crisis.
I mean, they've already done something that feels like it's like this is an echo of the previous Crisis. Phantom Crisis.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
We got rid of the Crisis.
This is the Crisis that lives in the basement but has been teaching the new Crisis how to sing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. This is what I'm asking for.
This Crisis wrote an opera that's pretty deranged. But we're going to stage it and put the new Crisis in the lead.
I think, the Crisis is like over, but like feels like Hawk still like wants to be like a celestial being. Like he just gets these like feelings that he's like a celestial being. It's like a Phantom Crisis.
Good God.
I've been fucking reading comic books for too long.
Look at you.
I hate that.
I'm proud of you, baby.
Made that joke.
I'm proud of you.
I hate that.
Oh, man, and you fucking nailed that Hawk was extant. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, our annual quiz. I did way better than previous years.
One of us.
I don't like this.
I hate
this. I gotta stop listening like I used to.
I mean, you're still not listening.
What?
It's just in there now. You care now.
What'd you say?
What'd you say?
It's a comic books, yeah. Well, of course I didn't read the books. All right, next question. Oh my God. Get fucking ready.
Oh God.
Open your fucking maw and ready for the load.
Jesus.
Because Jack Stonewall has got something for you. Time to breach the dikes because fucking Jack Stonewall is coming.
Yeah, send your sappers underground. It's the only way to take down Jack Stonewall.
The levee's about to fucking break.
Good
Jack Stonewall's coming.
Real sexy version of American Pie.
Oh, levee.
To the levee, and it fucking broke.
Yeah,
because Jack Stonewall's coming.
Yeah, the Eugene levee's about to break.
Oh no,
it's Jack Stonewall.
Jesus.
Who asks, what is Phantom Stranger's greatest feat? I know that he's powerful, but I'm not really sure what he is capable of.
Oh man. Okay, well, let's run down some of the things we've already mentioned. He travels outside of reality, essentially, to get Animal Man.
Yeah.
Animal Man is sort of like, he's like fallen out of continuity, like at one point in that run, and Phantom Stranger is the one that brings him back in. So Phantom Stranger can move trans-dimensionally and stuff like that, which is pretty wild. Can obviously like teleport and go through multiple universes and things. He can travel through time. He's fought the fucking Spectre. He's strong enough to, to fight the Spectre. Because again, the divine power is what, what fuels him. Jesus. At one point in the New 52, he and Pandora and the Question take on all of the sins of two worlds onto their souls.
Whoa.
And they manage it.
I don't even know what that means.
At one point in the New 52, he gives the 30 silver pieces, like the chain, to a demon, and the demon puts it on and goes like, how do you live like this?
Oh my God.
Guilt. He's like, so I mean, in a way you could say like part of his power is just like this, like almost like Hal Jordan levels of like indomitable will, determination, right?
Or he just doesn't give a shit.
Well, no, the point is that he does, because it's actual like guilt. He's not capable of ignoring it. He has to live with it. This demon is like rendered like immobile by it.
Sure, yeah.
And he just goes about his day. You know what I mean? So, that's a pretty impressive, not like a thing you'd list on his powers, but like an impressive quality about him.
It's on his CV.
Yeah. Oh boy, what else? I mean, those are all relatively impressive, I think.
What do you think the biggest thing is, though?
Oh, probably betraying Christ.
Yeah, if that's his canon.
The biggest one is, when you see him actually use that power. Fighting the Spectre is a good kind of benchmark for it, because we know what the Spectre can do.
Yeah.
I do like that kind of quieter thing. I know it's from the New 52 and people have their opinions or whatever, especially when it comes to the Trinity of Sin, a sort of very mediocre to bad kind of corner of that continuity. But I like that detail that like the demon Belial is just like, I can't live like this. I've worn this for 5 minutes, and he hands it right back. Like there's a sort of a very kind of quiet strength of will and being that in order to live like that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, why don't we leave Instagram and head on over to Reddit,
where everyone's nice, no one's ever mean,
and you must be a Weasley, because the next question comes from Draco Folly.
Oh,
Not being able to kill Dumbledore, that's a Draco Folly.
Oof.
Thank you very much. Who asks, what's the right amount of screen time for a character like the Stranger? Should he only show up at the offset of times to hand out cryptic advice, or should we see him go full magic battle with the likes of the Spectre or some such?
Listen, every once in a while, having him there and cutting that power loose is obviously exciting and interesting.
Fucking rad,
but
yeah.
Fundamentally, the character cannot be like the powerhouse. He can't be the tank on the team. He has to kind of like dive in, go like, hey, did anybody think about this? And he's gone again.
Yeah.
I think that's how he works best. It's, he's mostly like a narrator and off on the periphery in Shadow Pact. And I like that because the Shadow Pact team are those like, it's Detective Chimp and Nightshade and Ragman. And, like they're a real ragtag bunch. And he kind of bombs in and goes like, hey, what's going on over here? And I think that works. I think what works in a solo series for Phantom Stranger, comic-wise, where you can't just only have him in a page or two. It's his book. But I do like the idea of who's around him, who's with him, how attached is he getting? And, and then there's a sort of tension of he has to influence these people. Terrence 13 is a skeptic, some versions. And then there's also like if I become too attached and they know me too much, am I no longer a stranger? What will cosmically happen? Or does he get the impulse to move on? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like you could play with all those things. So the irony is that when he shows up in other books, I only want him in for a little bit, and you go like, oh shit, he's here? This is interesting. He's very mysterious. But in his book, it's got to be very personal, actually.
Yeah.
Which is why I think I'm not averse to knowing more about him. I don't think it ruins it, because it's, he has this kind of struggle and this weight on him, and it's interesting to get some of the interiority of that versus what he's actually saying to people, and I think that's interesting to explore. I would love to see another Phantom Stranger solo series. I think that'd be cool as shit.
Yeah.
He's had 4 separate solo series. He's been implicated in lots of other things. You know, the Legends event. It's very famously him and Darkseid make a wager about whether or not people are generally like good, or whether it's about the trust in superheroes and stuff like that. Phantom Stranger's implicated in tons of stuff, but he's had 4 solo series, so it'd be cool to see another one.
Hell yeah. All right, let's leave Reddit and head on over to the Dockscord. The Dockscord.
Docs in my scord. I docs through the Dockscord.
What?
It's the Dockscord.
Singing Early November?
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's ever so sweet.
Ever so scored.
Doxed it and cakes for scored.
I mean, I did really like that.
I love that song came on while I was driving you today.
It was like My Chemical Romance, Newfound Glory, and
I put on my
Early
Richard
November.
list.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Richard's gonna be in the car, baby. I put it on my list.
I'm like, I knew all the songs. It's not
Yeah.
like I did. It's not like I didn't.
Yeah. Funeral for a friend.
We're gonna talk about that.
Or Bruno.
I liked the last Early November record that they put out, which was like the double record. It was so good. Anyways, moving on the Doc Score, the first question. Speaking of, first question comes from the Amanda Waller of the Doc Score. I like that. That's what we've given him. Yeah.
I like that was well received.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who asks, what's your own favorite origin of the Phantom Stranger? And if you guys had to redo his origin for a modern audience, what would you do?
Interesting. Well, I've told you, I think I've managed to remember 4 of the 5 kind of main origins of him. Of those, do you have a favorite?
It's the Judas one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking dope. I like that.
Is it just because it's like what is it about that one that you're like, I like that over the kind of other, maybe slightly vaguer ones?
What I like is that it's like, and I think this also ties into the thing that I would probably change, which is I like the idea that it's like this historical significance and like it's been around at important moments. So if I was going to add anything, I'd be like, it's like all of the big moments. Like it was you, like, stranger, like it was like the who betrayed Caesar and like that kind of thing. Like I think it's like all of the like big important thing. I think.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Like I said, I actually like the Judas one too.
Yeah.
But if I have to put a knock on it, it's that only gives us 2,000 years of Phantom Stranger.
Yes.
And there's something I like about the idea of him being around a lot longer.
Well, even
kind
just
of
like
impossibly longer.
Like
so
Genghis Khan, like I want him to be around there. Like that's what I mean. But I want like all of the like famous failings.
Genghis Khan is later.
Genghis, but yeah. That's the proper way to say it.
Oh, sorry. Did he build a big tower and then piece by piece dismantle the bottom of it?
Jenga is Khan.
Yeah, Jenga's Khan. But like if he's I like that one where he like doesn't pick a side. When Lucifer,
there's bad people on both sides. This is me, the Phantom Stranger.
He's like, I just want to see how this goes. Because that's a lesson for him. Because then he's cursed to, well, I guess now you'll never be able to directly participate. You know what I mean? You want to sit on the fence? How about you sit on it for all time? And so then he's forced to kind of like, no, like I've learned my lesson. I want to participate, but he has to do it by these kind of like circumspect means and things like that. But that origin gives him a longer window of operation. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
That works for me.
What would you change it for modern times?
Oh God, I don't know that I can. What is the modernity thing that doesn't work with the existing origins? Like I actually don't think anything about him doesn't work with that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Unless we're just talking that we in modern comics we place a lot more emphasis on this thing we were talking about like the actual cosmology.
Mm-hmm.
The one piece that's missing, I guess, is why does he matter?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, there's no way he's the only angel that didn't pick a side. There's no way he's the only betrayer ever. And there's no way he's that. So why him and why that?
Yeah. And
maybe that's but that's not an origin thing. I don't know that you have to change any of that, but maybe if you're writing just to, the question from before that Alex Jaffe asked is like, does it hurt the character to
have an origin,
to have a specific origin? And I don't think it does, although I do like when it's longer than just a couple thousand years. But a thing that I think would hurt the character is maybe answering that question.
Sure.
The why.
Yeah.
What is his function? Because that's the thing is like, I guess I just keep doing, like I'll just keep.
Yeah.
I think that would hurt the character. Like an actual endpoint, and maybe that was part of the not that he reached that, but that was maybe part of the fault with the New 52 one. Is you're like, okay, he's got 30 pieces of silver. You can take however long you want to burn through the 30, but we know there's a limit in that like Doctor Who sense of like you get 13 regenerate or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like why put that on him that at some point it will be done. I think it's better if it just never will. But then there's this lingering question of why? Why him? Why is he important? Why does he get bestowed this power?
Yeah.
Of all the sinners or lost souls or whatever, why him?
Yeah. All right. Next question comes from Alexander the Alex, who asks, if I wanted to read modern Phantom Stranger that isn't the New 52, what would I read?
I've got a kind of 2 issues that I enjoyed from The Brave and the Bold Volume 3, which is sort of like a mid-2000s book. And it's the Phantom Stranger and Hal Jordan team up.
Okay.
And it's pretty neat. God, I mean, here's the thing with the Phantom Stranger is, again, he's just everywhere. Read Shadow Pact. Here's a big one. Read Day of Vengeance. This is a story I always come back to. I talk about it a lot, but it's because I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Read Day of Vengeance. It was one of the lead-in stories to Infinite Crisis. Phantom Stranger's not in it a bunch because the Spectre takes him off the table, but he is in it near the end. And he's there when the Shadow Pact kind of like solidifies and forms.
Yeah.
And then he's in that book post Infinite Crisis. So, Day of Vengeance through Infinite Crisis through, Phantom Stranger helps coordinate them reassembling the Rock of Eternity and stuff in Infinite Crisis. You could dive in there if you want to see him for like a few pages, but read Shadow Pact. He's in there. I think that's interesting. He's not necessarily like the main feature, but he's relatively involved. That's pretty cool. Pre-New 52, but modern. Blackest Night, there was a tie-in. When they did, for Blackest Night, they resurrected old titles, right? Like there was that Booster Gold one that we read, they did a Question one, and they also resurrected Phantom Stranger's title. They gave it an issue 42 or 43 or something. And in that one, he's trying to fight Black Lantern Crispus Allen, who's the current host of the Spectre, who, because he was a Black Lantern, had actually managed to trap the Spectre inside the corpse.
Yeah.
And so it's Phantom Stranger, and Deadman is in that, and and the Spectre, and it's very interesting. They describe the Phantom Stranger as neither living nor dead, so he can't be affected by the Black Lantern rings. Black Hand has a sort of talk to him or whatever. That's kind of neat. It's tough to pin him down, though. He's just in a bunch of stories. You can look up appearances like on the wiki, but those are the first most modern things to come to mind with him. There's probably others, but that's what I've got right now.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, New 52. There's a decent amount. There's a weirdly decent amount of Phantom Stranger. He's in Justice League Dark. He has his own title that was just called Phantom Stranger and then was called Trinity of Sin Phantom Stranger. He shows up in all the crossover issues of Forever Evil Blight, which is across Constantine, Justice League Dark, Phantom Stranger, Pandora. He also shows up in the Trinity of Sin title that comes after that, alongside Pandora and the Question. Now, whether or not you want to read those,
Sure.
But he's in a lot of the New 52. It's a pretty high concentration of Phantom Stranger, I would say.
All right, let's go to the last question from We've Only Just Dandon again, who asks, how does the Phantom Stranger fight? What are his offensive powers? And does he fight in the traditional sense at all?
Right. I mean, yes, Phantom Stranger has punched people. He can fight. He is allowed to fight. It's more like his intervention thing is a little bit more like he has the power of God. He can't just fix the thing. He can defend himself. He can fight. He can fight alongside people in service of a thing. But there's a sort of, if it gets too much to like, oh, you're just using God power. No. Switch off sort of thing. He can, like I said, he can shoot like energy blasts and stuff like that. That's sort of like very kind of crude, like physical magic. So offensively, he could do that. Obviously, he could teleport. He could do like misdirection, and I think you could do like transfiguration and like all those kind of like. He could do a lot. He's not useless in a fight, but he's a lot more of a non-interventionist when he can get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, he doesn't have like a mystic sword or like he doesn't have like the ancient shield of whatever.
Sure.
He doesn't have shit like that. It's just him and his powers.
Yeah.
Just a guy in a trench coat.
Waiting for a girl to use his powers on.
Jesus.
I don't know.
Good Lord.
Is that the last question?
That is.
Well, I guess it's time to play our favorite game. Can you guess the name of the character based on someone who does not read comic books could describe that character to us?
Holy shit.
That's right, baby. I send a photo of a DC Comics character to my wife who does not read comic books, nor does she care for them. She sends back 4 clues describing what she sees. She did it while she was on vacation.
Yeah, baby.
There's just no fucking sleep.
That's right. Podcast is more important.
That's right. That's right.
That's why I'm here.
The only reason. I'm fine.
I've got family visiting. I'm still here.
Hell yeah. I mean, maybe that's why.
No.
Well, first of 4 clues. Duct tape, gloves, and boots.
Wild dog.
No.
Dog welder.
Nothing.
6-pack.
Nothing with dogs. No, not 6-pack.
Killer moth.
No.
Next clue.
No, not a character.
Is it next clue?
Yeah. Next clue. Punk rock shoulder pads.
Lobo.
No.
Is it like one of the mutants from Dark Knight Returns or something?
Nope.
Next clue.
Oh, right. Wow. The next clue is ready for swimsuit season with that stylish one shoulder piece.
Well, I don't know about that. I almost threw Clown Hunter in before that clue, but
then you'd sound like a fucking idiot.
Okay. Duct tape, gloves, and boots. Punk rock shoulder pads.
Yeah.
One shoulder swimsuit thing. Or ready for swimsuit season.
Yeah.
One shoulder thing. Huh. Last clue?
Merida from Brave Hair?
Merida.
Merida. I don't know. I've never seen that. Brave.
Brave. Okay, interesting. The shoulder thing. Cersei?
No. Sorry, it's shoulder pad, not shoulder pads.
Oh, yeah, well, if it's a one shoulder
Yes.
thing, sure. Yeah. Silver Sorceress?
No.
Silver Swan?
No.
Shiva?
No.
What's her name? What was her name? Tiger Claw, what the fuck was her name?
No.
It's not, no. How much will this upset me?
Not that much.
Okay. I don't know. I'm pretty lost on this one.
Okay, I'll give you a pretty big clue.
Okay.
To see if it helps.
Sure.
They have spent time on Apocalypse.
One shoulder. So is it one of the Furies? Stompa?
No.
Mad Harriet?
No.
It's not Lashina.
No.
Is it Orly?
No.
Is it's not Bernadette?
No.
It's not. Is it Fury?
Nope.
Is it Grail?
Nope.
I don't know. I'm at a loss.
All right, baby.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if I show you a photo, if that helps at all.
Is that Maxima?
Nope.
No. Who is that?
That's Knockout, baby.
Oh, Knockout.
Knockout.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's right. Knockout was a former female Fury from Apocalypse.
Well, shit. Well, there you go. Yeah. Good clues based on the image, actually. You know,
whose hidden identity was that of a super strong stripper who worked out of a club called the Boom Boom Room.
Hell yeah. Nice. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. If any of you residents were able to get Knockout, maybe you can let us know through one of our various social media platforms.
Oh, just wait.
Uh-huh.
So, next week's episode...
I don't know what you're doing.
I don't, yeah. Next week's episode is the Golden Age patrons voted on it, but their vote ended in a tie.
Is this the one where they didn't end up getting to guest?
Oh, they already lost that.
But was that for this?
No, that was a separate thing.
Okay.
This is just their monthly
Oh,
when they get to vote on a thing.
Okay.
But
So
it was
tie.
between types of classic episodes of ours. And the tie is between doing a prescribed reading episode
Okay.
next week where I pick a book for us,
Yes.
or doing a trading cards episode, which we haven't done in for fucking ever.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to use this coin flip app here.
We have a fucking coin.
That's what I was looking for. I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't bring my Two-Face coin. I forgot.
We got Two-Face coins for this
Well,
thing.
where's yours?
It's
We're in your house.
It's the office.
See? Well, then there you go.
But had I been prepared, if I knew this
I
was
used the
coming.
Two-Face coin for tie breaking during the tournament. But so heads, prescribed reading.
Okay.
Tails, trading cards. And I'm gonna let you look at this.
Okay. Flip tails.
All right, trading cards episode.
Wow.
So don't send questions. We're doing a trading cards
Yeah.
episode. Anticlimactic. Cool.
Been cooler if it was an actual coin, but
Yeah, it would be a lot cooler if it was. Yeah.
You can send those non-questions.
Yeah.
Don't fucking talk to us.
In the following places.
Yes, Facebook.
Dr. DC Podcast.
Don't send us a comment or a post on there. Twitter.
At Dr. DC.
Don't you fucking subtweet. I don't want to.
You're going to do this for all of them?
I don't want to see any likes. I don't want to see hearts there. Nothing.
I mean, I kind of do.
Nope. Nothing.
Wow.
Instagram.
Dr. DC Podcast.
Don't you fucking dare comment.
This is
on
going
one
to
of
take
our
so
photos.
long. You're really dragging this out.
email.
DrDCpodcast@gmail.com.
You think you're gonna fucking CC BC? I want to see it.
BCC.
Yeah, fucking easy. I don't care what your preferences are.
I can't tell if that's like the kind of conservative style joke or not.
Subreddit
r/Dr_DC.
You think you can fucking write a Reddit comment to us? Do you think you can fucking respond to that? You're gonna upvote? No, I don't think so. Nothing for that week. The doc phone is always open.
208-917-3238.
You're gonna come here and you're gonna fucking try to give me a voicemail
On the
day of the trading
episode.
cards?
Yeah.
I don't think so. We're on TikTok.
At Dr. DC.
You can send me thirst traps. That's all right.
That wasn't on the table.
Our website.
DrDCpodcast.com or .ca.
You can comment on some old blog posts, but that's about it.
Or send us an email.
Yeah.
Hey, pussy@vag.com. Where you at?
Yeah, it's been too long. You can give us a 5-star review.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Yes.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, if they're not on Apple Podcasts or on Facebook, take a screenshot and send it to us.
Yes, give us a review.
Yeah, shit.
You can also send us some physical mail. We've gotten some recently, and it's hilarious. Not for this podcast.
No, that's
but
true. We got Ghost Facers related physical mail.
love it.
Featuring a physical male.
Oh my god,
Physical
physical
male
specimen.
physique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can send that to either Richard Eden or Reed Vanier at 301 Hogue Street. That's Hoge Street, Whitehorse, Yukon, Canada. Y1A 1V8 for my fellow for my folks who are not from Canada. That is a postal code similar to your zip codes.
Cool.
Just letting you know.
They're not idiots, man. Those are our listeners you're talking to. Have some fucking respect.
I'll remember this.
Get my residents' names out.
Get my sandwich segment.
This joke is still good, right?
Yeah, no, it's still very funny. Why don't you join the conversation on our Discord?
That's right. If you join us on Patreon, it's patreon.com/DrDC. There's a $1, $5, and $7 level. They all give you access to the Doc Squad, our awesome fan community. We have a ton of fun over there.
But that's not it. That's not all.
And at the higher levels, you get bonus episodes, you get videos, theme polls, all sorts of fun stuff that helps to support us.
Also, if you want to get in on those inside jokes that are outside of that platform, well, you can listen to our other podcast.
Baby.
Oh, yeah.
Ghost Facers, a Supernatural rewatch. We're going through every episode of the CW Supernatural. We're about halfway through season 5.
Yeah.
Right now, we talk about real world monster lore,
That's
behind the
right.
scenes stuff about the show. It's a ton of fun.
That's right. Where are my sandwich sluts at?
Yeah, baby.
That's it for this week.
Adios.
Ciao, ciao.
All the superheroes, they always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure, they are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.